the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1 match reaction on what has been an eventful day in the Premier League. It always throws up thrills and spills on the last day of the season, and we will get into that in a moment. But I'm joined by Pete and by Rolly. How are you guys? All right?
Very well, Tony.
I'm feeling very Champions League.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So, people, if you do like what you see, then please make sure you smash that like. It does help the channel up with search results, so do smash those likes. That's very good of you. Thank you. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and join this amazing community and hit that subscribe button. And also the bell notification. That will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. And if you do want to make a donation to the channel, there is a link in the chat. Just click the link and follow the instructions. Also, I'm on 595 subscribers, so I'm only 5 away now from 600. Could I get to 600 before the end of this show? Who knows? So if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do so. There's some exciting shows to come up during the week on the channel as well. Before I get into anything, as I said earlier, Thursday there is a special show on. I have got a Burnley fan, a Blades fan, and I'm just waiting for a Luton fan, and it's going to be called Welcome to the Premier League. That's on Thursday night. And I've got a special one coming up on Tuesday night as well. And again, I'm just waiting for 2 fans to get back in touch with me, an Arsenal fan and a Man United fan. But I will have all fans from the top 7 teams in the Premier League on the channel on Tuesday night, and we're calling that the European Tour. So join in. That should be a cracking show as well on Tuesday evening. So there's lots for you to look forward to. And tomorrow we're going to do a season review as well. So lots of exciting stuff coming up on the channel. So make sure you hit that bell, keep you notified. And as I say, if you're new, smash that subscribe. Right. Just going to nip into some comments and see what's being said in the comments. And Gary was first in. Gary D, good evening. He says the Skip Rats got out a jail card again. Yeah, absolutely they are. Just a terrible club. Mighty Max says, evening all, good for Leicester, and what a star in the making of Miley. Absolutely. We will get into that one as well. Julie says, evening all, good evening to you, Julie. Hope you're well. Sanjay, hi. Hi to you, Sanjay. Hope you're well indeed. Very good evening, Tony, and all here. Yeah, good evening to you as well, Paul. I hope you're very well, mate. Peter Gold, good evening, fellow Mags. Good evening to you, Peter. Hope you're well, mate. Luke says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Luke. Hope you've enjoyed your day. Coffee. Hi, Tony, PD, Rolly, and all. Hi to you, Coffee. Hope you're well. He says, the champions. Absolutely. Coffee says, I got my prediction for going to score correct. You did, Coffee. You did, absolutely. You know, I wonder what the odds was for him. Probably about 8-1 or something to score the first. Paul says, I was third to smash the like. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Lee says, evening, Tony, Pete and Rolly and everyone. Good evening to you, Lee.
Lee.
B930 in channel. Hi, Tony. How are you doing? What do you think of Leeds and Leicester down? Yeah, I'm doing great, mate. And, you know, I think we all thought they would go down in all honesty. But, yeah, we were sort of hoping that Bournemouth would get an equaliser. Unfortunately, Bournemouth couldn't get the equaliser. And Everton survive another season. Hopefully for not much longer. BS says, hi, Tony Rowley and Pimp Demon Proudlock and chat.
Oh,
Oh, God. Peter says, I wonder if Leicester might sue Everton or the Premier League because they've obeyed the FFP rules and Everton didn't. Do you know what it is, Peter?
Oh.
That's an absolute great point, mate, because didn't last season Burnley want to take action against Everton as well?
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. They need to sort this out, and they need to sort out for the start of next season. If they're on a points deduction, to start off on a minus, simple as.
Yeah,
I
mean, they've been cheating for the last couple of seasons. So
Yeah.
the Premier League, I mean, if they're in the Championship, they'd have had the moment it's referred, they'd have had the points taken off them already.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did it to Reading, they did it to Wigan. But the Premier League, they said, oh, we're looking into it. And then nothing, and then they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Because I think they wanted to see whether they went up, went down or not. I think if Everton had gone down, they said, oh, we'll give you a 10-point deduction now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lee says, John's a Man U fan, lol. B930 channel says, why not get John Sinclair, the Man U fan? Lee says, looks like Everton not getting points dropped.
Not this season.
Daniel asks, maybe you should wait after the 10th of June before that European tour show, says Daniela.
Oh, yeah, because West Ham would be in it.
Man City, aren't they? But obviously it's European tours and like who finished in the top 7. So, but we can always do another one like that. Julie says, shame Everton didn't go down. Absolutely, Julie. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the silver lining is Spurs miss out on Europe.
Paul says, Bournemouth couldn't get a goal now if they were still playing. Probably not.
Nah.
Daniela says, both Everton and City need to be sorted before the start of next season. Yeah, absolutely, Daniela. They do. They've got to be sorting this out because they're just getting beyond the joke. Why do they keep saying Everton's got FFP? And, it's just... Get it sorted and stop talking about it. We're sick of hearing about it. Just sort it out and get them.
If you're only allowed to lose 105 million over 3 years and you lose 370, then you take off 170, you're still 195 million over what you can lose. I don't see where the problem is.
Mohammed says, okay, everyone. Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. Please, thank you. And Julie says, so pleased for Anthony Gordon. I am as well, because I was sick of seeing some people giving him stick. And I said, look, give this guy a chance. Give him next season, the pre-season. Mighty Max says, have you guys seen Anthony Gordon interview? The lad is hungry and is going to fight for his place. Just what we need. I haven't seen it, but I will watch it. Julie says, Trippier was kind enough not to let Chelsea look too bad. B1930, do you think you'll get Madison in the summer? I do, yeah. I think he'll leave for a lot cheaper now. Leicester's been relegated, and I said Reading. Daniela says, Southampton 4, Liverpool 4 was a strange result, wasn't it? Just, Southampton were winning 4-2, and I'm thinking, hang on, why have they waited till now to get that, So at least they've sent the fans off home happy with a 4-4 draw. Yeah. Mohammed says Newcastle deserve Champions League football for next season. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And great one. So anyway, let's get into the thick of the action. And so obviously we've done the pre-match, and this was the Newcastle lineup, and there was 4 changes to that lineup with Dubravka, Trippier, Shea, Botman, Target, Gordon, Elliott, Anderson, Almiron, St. Maximum and Isak. Wilson dropped to the bench. No Longstaff in the squad whatsoever. You look at that team and you think, yep, that's a strong team. And you think, yeah, got nothing to worry about with Chelsea. There's their lineup as well. You look at that Chelsea lineup and you think a lot of individuals in there, and should be party time for us. We should go out and win that game. I did say 4-0 before the game started. But, because I just looked at that Chelsea lineup and I just looked at all the individuals in that side. You know, I just looked at like Havertz, who really hasn't. Who's only got like 7 goals or something all season for Chelsea. I mean, that's a poor return for a striker that cost them like 75 million quid. That is not a striker. That is somebody who just does not know where the back of the net is. You know, and you've got Enzo Fernandez, another individual. So yeah. I mean, I'm joined. I've got Sam in. How are you, Sam? You all right, mate?
I am all good.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it started off great. Anthony Gordon scored, which was lucky because I just managed to see that goal just before I had to leave the house and go out. So I was gutted about that. I saw the goal and then I had to go out and go and pick up the other half from work. She finished at 5. And then when I got there to pick her up, I looked at the score and I was like 1-1. Trippier own goal. I thought, oh God, you know. But I was back in home in time to watch the second half. I mean, we had a lot of chances in that first half, to be fair. Second half, I didn't like that second half at all.
No, neither did I.
Chelsea had a lot of domination on that ball, but they had a few shots at goal. But again, they didn't look like they were going to score. They had a shout for a handball, which was never a handball. But all in all, I thought that second half, I just thought it was a bit poor and a bit flat. I think the only bright spot was when we brought Lewis Miley on and he nearly scored his shot just over the bar. I mean, you know, he's unlucky, but I just found it a strange half. And I just looked at it and I just thought, you know, because I had other games on the go as well. I was watching the Newcastle game on the TV. On the iPad, I had the Everton game on. On my laptop, I had the Leicester game on, you know. So I was like, watching 3 different games at once. Because I was so hoping, I kept rooting for Bournemouth. Come on, Bournemouth, get that equaliser, you know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like that second half performance. I mean, Pete, what was your thoughts on that game? You did a watch along on it. I mean,
First half, yeah,
yeah,
quite controlled it. Second half, yeah, it did go a bit flat, didn't we? It really, really did, didn't we? Yeah, you're right. Bring us Lewis Miley on was only that bright buck in the second half, and boy, he was so close. Just the ball denied him. It sounds like that kid, man. Sounds like he's got potential by the looks of it. Hitting the ball in your first game, coming off the bench as well. So yeah, but yeah, second half, not a lot into it for me. That was the thing. It was just like, see the game out. Season's done. We're in the Champions League now. There you are.
Yeah. I mean, it just that game just had that final game of the season feel to it, didn't it? Like, because it was a dead rubber, nothing for both teams to play for. And I mean, Jared Gillett again, the referee. I just can't stand that referee. He just always looks so smug, and I just think, do you know what? Just go back to Australia, mate. You're not good enough in the Premier League. He's not a great referee. I just don't like the bloke. I just think he's a poor ref. What was your thoughts on him, Pete?
He's not the greatest, is he? He's definitely not the greatest at all.
No, absolutely. Rolly, what was your take on the game?
First half, I thought we had chances. They look poor. I mean, they're fortunate with their goal. It was their own goal of Trip. Came off his, he blocked it, it hit his hand, and then went in. Unfortunate. When they got into good positions, they never had anyone in the middle. Pleased for Anthony Gordon to get his first goal as a Magpie. Second half was flat. It's almost as if they knew that Man United were winning and was going to cruise control. As Pete said, the bright spot was Lewis Miley coming on. Didn't look out of place at all. Great shot, just clipped the top of the crossbar. It's a big lad for 17. But, I was hoping that House and Ashby would get on for a little bit, but overall, it's a very much an end of the season game where Chelsea, they sort of would have liked to have ended the season on a win, but they pushed but weren't really doing much. And we've achieved our goals, so it's dead rubber. I thought ASM looked quite good. His distribution and his decision making were good attacking.
Yeah.
He's looked good again.
I mean, Rory, that goal we scored, I mean, probably the easiest goal Anthony Gordon's going to score. I mean, the defending from Chelsea was awful. I mean, what were they actually doing? They just stood there. They just stood there and let the ball come in. And Anthony Gordon must have thought, gosh, I've got an easy goal here. But, I mean, you know, the defending for that was just like, I wouldn't even say it was schoolboy defending. I would say it was worse than schoolboy defending, probably more like infant school defending.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely terrible at defending.
And it wasn't just on that goal. It's for most of the first half they were terrible.
Yeah, like I say, I only saw the first 10 minutes when I saw the goal go, and then I had to go. So unfortunately, I didn't see the rest of the first half. Before I get to Sam, I'll just go through some comments as well. Coffee says, conceding 4 against bottom of the table team is not a top 4 material. Talking about Liverpool, absolutely. I mean, where Southampton scored 4 goals from, I do not know. Even Adam Armstrong scored one of them.
Yeah, he did.
Coffee says, Miggy, so many misses. Mafinho would have scored with them on his right. Yeah.
I think the other thing we've got to bear in mind, it's been a long, hard season.
Yeah.
They've busted a gut, and they can see the beach.
Yeah.
From Stamford Bridge. You can let them off with that performance.
Yeah, B930 said, I don't know why Chelsea don't use Mendy anymore. Kepa is bad. Mendy's no better.
No, I don't think
Mendy's
had a poor season as well.
Yeah.
Peter Gold says, Paul looks a good youngin. Yes, he does. He looks.
I like him. He looks good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Daniela says, Chelsea and Spurs are imposters being called a top 6 club at the moment. Well, yeah, none of them have qualified for Europe, them two, have they?
Yeah.
Diggy Twitch says, hey, what's up? Yeah, what's up, mate? Hope you're well. Bias says, Dubs had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, very well. Had a couple of really good saves in the first half.
Lee says, at least we're unbeaten in London, absolutely.
We are, yeah.
Bird more shockingly poor, says Coffee.
He's giving these silly balls away.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It didn't cost us the game.
Well, it didn't.
Over.
But it just shows me
I'm not going to be too hard on anyone after the way they played all season.
Oh, no, definitely not. But we need a new left back in for next season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Peter says, Dubs played a blind. I stepped up to the plate when we needed him to, absolutely. Yep. The Coffee says, almost threw the game away a few times. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
B930 says, I thought Pete did an amazing watch along and can't believe John didn't turn up. I think John's up in Newcastle at his girlfriend, so I think that's why he didn't get on Pete's show.
Or was he at Old Trafford?
Yeah, was he? Was he, Pete? Yeah, was he? Mohammed says, next weekend, Sunday, FA Cup final, Man City, Man U. Next Saturday, the 3rd.
Yeah.
3 p.m. kickoff. Coffee says, John was at the game. He wasn't at Chelsea, no.
No, he wasn't at Chelsea.
Mohammed says Man City played Inter Champions and final in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yes, they do. Yes. Yeah. As much as I like Target, his time could be up, says Mighty Mag.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Sure.
I think Lewis and Dummett should be going ahead of him.
I thought ESM was fantastic against Chelsea.
I thought ESM did well for me, yeah.
He did. Sam, good evening, mate. And I mean, what did you make of that game?
It just had the whole end of season feel about it, didn't it? Just 2 teams that weren't really playing by any pressure on them. It was a case of just go out and play a game of football. And I think if we'd had a full strength team, I think we probably would have won, because I don't think they were anything great. I think, am I right? It took them 80 odd minutes probably to have a shot on target, maybe longer. They had a lot of possession, passing sideways and backwards, and just nothing up front. I think if we'd had a bit more, and if we had Longstaff in midfield, I think I think we probably won't win the game because I think there was a bit of freedom for Bruno, who I thought was quite quiet the day.
Yeah, I thought he was as well.
Yeah, I thought just like I said, just screamed of an end of season feel about it. But we've ended the season unbeaten. There's more positives than negatives again from this season. So we just need to, I think the other situation is I get a feeling that Leicester will be filing something legal against Everton, to be honest, because they've stayed up breaking FFP 2 years in a row, and just wrong, man. Things like that shouldn't be allowed because they're getting away with it. And like I said, if I was Leicester, I'd be filing compensation or something.
There's an article in I think it's the Telegraph Daily Mail a couple of weeks back, saying that Leeds, Leicester, and Burnley are looking to sue Everton.
I would, because
of going down because they've cheated on FFP.
I would do it because personally they've gained an advantage by cheating.
Breaking the rules.
If they hadn't have cheated, they may have gone down last season as opposed to anything else. So it's a case of if I was Leicester, I'd be saying this. And Rodgers said numerous times at the start of the season in January he can't sign players because of his budget and FFP and all that, and yet Everton have gone and broken it without any care. And I just think it's time for the Premier League to go a pair of balls and do something about it, because it's ridiculous. I think if it was us, we would have been relegated and docked points by now. But I'm not gonna give them any credit because the skip rats and the Scouse Macklem, so they don't deserve any.
And the celebrations, I mean, Jesus wept.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Really is.
How did they told not to go on the pitch about 5 times? What did they do? Oh, we'll step on the pitch.
If that was us again, we would be absolutely slammed from pillar to post. And as I've just said, I think it's time the Premier League do something about it, because if they can get away with it, why can't we go and spend £500 million in January in the summer? And, why can't we go and spend £1 billion in the summer and break it?
We would be hammered for it though, Sam. That's what they would do. They're watching us like a hawk. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. They need to be consistent with it, and they're not. They pick their rules for one and pick their rules for another, and they'll like Sky tomorrow and TalkSport and that'll be going, oh well done Everton and all that. And I'm thinking they've cheated. It's like getting an A in your maths exam, but you've looked at the bloke next to you for the answers and you've copied them. That's what it is, because you're not that good enough on your own. It's the same reason. You can't do that.
I mean, had Leicester beat us on Monday with that only shot they had, they would have stayed up today.
No, if we'd known that Liverpool were going to draw with Southampton, we could have let them win.
But again, like I said, something needs to be done about it. It stinks.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
If they don't do anything, FFP means nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's stopping us going out and spending $400-500 million in the summer? Why can't we do that? There's like Craig Hope's done an article tonight saying, "Oh, we maybe spend £100 million." I'm thinking, no, we're not just going to spend. Our FFP budget isn't just £100 million. Considering we've got 4th place, we've got to a cup final. The revenue of the Premier League for finishing in the top 4, it's going to be way above 100 million because of the revenue we've gained for finishing that and the sponsorships that we're going to gain. It's going to be well above 100 million. It's going to be, for me, 2 to 250 in my opinion. Because I think personally, I think Maxi will get sold as well. So that'll be there's 30 odd million possibly to add to the kitty as well.
I'm not sure Maxi goes.
I think I don't want to go, but I think I can't see him saying to anyhow, I want to be a squad player when he want to go and play football. He's not guaranteed to start for us. And I personally would get rid of Miggy as well. Sorry, I would get rid of Miggy because I don't think he's going to get any better than what he's done this season. I think that was his ceiling, and I think he can't do any more because today.
the argument I have to that is that we want to have a strong squad. If you get rid of those players, you have to replace them, and it's probably going to
That's the
cost
thing we
more than
will.
we'll get in from them. It will probably cost
But
us more than we get in from them, and the players that don't actually contribute that we need to get rid of first.
Well, I agree with that, but I think you have to look and balance the books as I say
Oh,
as well,
yeah.
because if we just get rid of 4 or 5 free transfers, we're not really balancing it. We're just getting rid of players who are out of contract.
Yeah,
I
but the
think
other thing
well
is
is-
that you keep them to the end of next season, and if they haven't contributed, then
But
I
again,
don't see them going this summer, maybe next, but unless
it's
they
all on the
improve.
players. If they want to be part of a squad, fair enough. But I just can't see Maxi saying to Eddie Howe, "Yeah, I'm happy to play 20 minutes here or there, or play one game every 3." Or I can't see him being happy with that because of his age.
He's played so. I mean, he's only 26, so yeah, he's reaching his prime. And the main reason that he didn't play many games is that when he was in the team and playing well, he got injured, and then the team was playing so well, he couldn't get back into the starting lineup.
That's another frustrating thing, though. He can, when he gets to his best, he always gets injured when he gets to his peak, and then he's usually missing 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and you think, can we afford that? Can we afford that when we've got possibly at least 46 games next season? That's if we don't progress in the Champions League, go further in the first round of the Cups. That's a lot of games we're going to have to play.
Yeah, but well, we'll see what they do in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I want to stay, but but life's going to continue on whether he stays or goes with Newcastle United. Because
I think that if we get a good offer, and I think it'll be 40 million or north, they'll let him go. But I don't see them looking to let him go.
But again, I think we'll sign players before we'll get rid of any. That's the difference again now. Will we be signing players we'll boost our squad, and then if players want to go, I still don't know why we're going to possibly offer Dummett and Richie new contracts. I cannot get my head around that.
Dummett would be to do with the Champions League, the number of club trained players that you have to have in the squad, and he would count for that.
Would you not rather give it one of the youth players and say, listen, you've got some incentive there, rather than saying there's a 30-odd-year-old bloke who's played one game in a year getting a new contract?
Again, he obviously offers a lot behind the scenes as well. But I mean, the young kids again, they don't count. They're under 21. They don't count on the squads. You've got to put forward. It's going to be an interesting one. But I mean, I think Dummett is really for club trained status. Richie, again, I think it's what he does behind the scenes, and he does get on the pitch occasionally. And he's been with us for me.
For me now, I would give him a coaching contract rather than wasting the player one. I would say, listen, I don't think you can do it on the pitch no more, but if there's a coaching possibility for the youth team or reserve team, if you want to get involved with that, then it's there for you. That's something like that. Just so we've got a space freed up in the squad, because again, it's taking up a place in the squad. I think with Leicester going down, I think it makes it a lot easier to bid for Maddison and Barnes, because I personally think now Leicester will have to sell them. Whether they want to or not, they will have to, because they can't afford to keep them.
Yeah.
Right, on the homegrown players, right, I'm going to put you right here, Rory, because, right, so for the Champions League, homegrown players are needed, okay? So out of the 25, 8 places are reserved for locally trained players or homegrown players. So what that means is, out of the 8, not more than 4 can be association trained players. So Callum Wilson, he's an association trained player. So he's homegrown. Right? So is say Jamal Lewis, he's local, like a homegrown player. Now then, the other 4 must be club trained. And that's where the confusion's coming in, you see, because right, and what it means by club trained is they are the locally trained players. So that'd be the likes of Longstaff, Sean Longstaff, Matty Longstaff. Club trained players, they've got to have been on the club's books for at least 3 years, and they must be between the age of 15 and 21. So Elliot Anderson falls into that category. So any players we've had from the age of 15 to 21, as long as we've got 4 of them that have been on the club's books between them ages, they're classed as locally trained players.
Yeah,
and that would be 4 of them needed.
Whereas, that's where Dummett would fit in.
Yeah. But if he was on another club's books, he would be classed as association trained.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, Rolly? So
yeah, that's exactly what
I think people are getting it wrong on what the homegrown quota is. As I've just said there, the homegrown quota is like you've got to have 4 association trained players. So that would be Trippier's an association trained player.
Dan
You've
Burn.
got Callum Wilson, Dan Byrne. You've got, Dummett could be down as locally trained because he was there for 3 years between the ages of 15 and 21.
Yeah. So Gordon with counters as homegrown.
Nick Pope. Nick Pope's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Association trained, yeah. But it's the club trained. That's where Paul Dummett comes in. That's might be why they want to offer him a new contract. Plus what he does behind the scenes. But you're looking at Sean Longstaff, Elliot Anderson, potentially Paul Dummett. I think does Mark Gillespie count?
He's association trained.
He's association trained. So Matty Longstaff will, but he's not going to be at the club.
No, he's not.
I think
I'm sure we've got players in the squad that we've got enough there to have the quota for that, and we'll definitely have a number. We'll definitely have the 8, that's for sure. And then the other 17 can be of whatever nationalities you've got in the squad. Then but as long as 8 of them are from the UK, 4 of them have got to be association trained, and the other 4 have got to have been in the academy between the age of 15 and 21. So I hope that clears you a little bit of confusion up there, Rolly.
No, I wasn't confused. I was saying what I was saying is exactly the same as you. I just didn't make the same. Didn't talk about the association trained and the club, the ones that gone through academy. I was just talking about the 4 for the academy.
Yeah. Some comments. Lee says John Moss spotted in Sports Direct getting a new Man U top. Ian says, hi guys, not a bad point at the end of a great season. No, absolutely not. You could tell it was a dead rubber game, and that's all it was. Mighty Max says, when do you guys think the club start to announce the change of sponsors for the shirt change, etc., as the season's over? The sponsorship, I reckon. I reckon so. I reckon this week or next week, a couple of weeks' time, I reckon at the most. And for the shirts wise, I suppose you just have to wait till Castor puts something out and say, when they show you a sneak peek, they'll give you a little snippet and say, that's the new home shirt. And then you sort of look and trying to work out what it's going to look like. And then they'll reveal the home shirt, then the away shirt. And I just hope this time when they do the pre-order, that if I do order my new shirt on pre-order day, this time, Castor, I hope I get it before it's in the bloody shops, because that was a farce last year. Absolute farce. I ordered on the first day of pre-order. And the thing is, you would think when you order on a pre-order, you'd get some sort of little free gift or something, You get nothing off them. They're as tight as nun's crutch. Mohammed says Fantasy League points for the season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the old tot up. I haven't checked mine, actually, to be fair. Is Kieran Clark due back? He's only come back. He's out of contract, and as far as I know, Sheffield United want him, but they've just got to make sure they can get past this transfer embargo they've got, or else he won't be able to sign for them. Wayne says, hi, Tony, PD, Sam, Rolly, and all. Good evening, Wayne. Jan says, hi, all. I said a draw in an Everton win. Hey, you certainly did, Jan. You got that spot on. Wayne says, why do every team, even if they're playing shit, always come out and perform well? I will tell you why. That's because We are the Black and White Army, and we are effing class. Absolutely. Yeah, because Chelsea have been absolutely dire, haven't they? And, I mean, look, we were talking about players yesterday. I'm going to ask you and Pete and Sam this question, right? And I'll give you some examples here. And it was a player Foxy come up with yesterday, and Rory's laughing, but I'll tell you about him anyway. Right. So the first player I'm going to tell you about, and I'll get a picture of him soon enough for you as well. Right, this player, and I know it's you're probably going to laugh at the name when I say the name as well. But his name is Gift Orban, Gift Emmanuel Orban. So Gift as in the present, and he plays for Ghent in Belgium. I'm just waiting for his stats to load up again, and he's 20 years of age. He's Nigerian. He's got no outstanding strengths, no outstanding weaknesses. Now, his player value is 9.4 million euros. Right, this is his stats for this season so far. He started 13 out of 15 games. He scored 15 goals in a scoring frequency of every 76 minutes. He also has 2 assists to his name, and his accurate crossing per game is 50%. And he's had 3 yellow cards all in those 15 games. I mean, Pete, 9.4 million for someone like that. Now, Rory's take on this yesterday was, yeah, but that's the Belgian League.
Absolutely.
Yes, we know it's the Belgian League, but how many great Belgians have come from the Belgian League? The Hazard brothers, Torgan and Eden. They're 2 great players. De Bruyne has come from there. Lukaku's come from there.
They came in the 20s. They didn't come in at 20. They went somewhere else first. And then came here, like, what you call it, De Bruyne was at Chelsea at that sort of age, and they binned him. He went away and then came back to Man City as he's approaching his prime. I'm not saying that Belgium don't
he went to Wolfsburg, didn't he? He went to Wolfsburg, didn't he, De Bruyne, for a season?
Yeah, and then he came back. So he went to Wolfsburg, which is a better league, improved, and then started to take the Premier League on by storm. So the Belgian league is not a strong league. So those stats, they're good, but it's the opposition that he's playing against. He's not playing a high standard of football.
Right, Pete. What's your take on Gift Orban? How do you think he sounds? Do you think be the right fit?
I don't
He's young
see
as
why
well,
not.
20
odd.
take up
He's
a
lot
Premier
to
League
learn.
squared place.
No,
Yes.
lot to learn as well. And who said Eddie Howe, like he's done with a lot of players, could make him into a good player in the Premier League as well.
There he is. There, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Isaac. I was going to say, that's him, is it?
Who?
What?
What were you saying there, Jimmers?
Isaac.
It was Isaac before we put him on.
I mean, would that be a yes for you, Pete?
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, I know you look at like Foxy said, but what about Victor Rossi? I mean, he came from the Belgian league. Yes, he went to Lille, but then he went from there to Napoli.
He went to Lille before he went to Napoli.
Yes, but Rory, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The thing is, even if we brought him in, we could say, right, we'll send him on loan to France for a season. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
He might come in and he might absolutely shock everybody. He might be a substitute and he comes on and bangs in a hat-trick. And now you're going to say, oh, hang on, he's not that great, but he is.
The problem I have is that a good player can look amazing in mediocre company. It could look amazing and look great, but when you put him up against top quality opposition, I mean, there are players of his age in better leagues that we could go after.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that he won't turn into be a fantastic player, but at this point in time, I have real worries about the league he's playing in. Now, if he'd gone to Lille now, at least you know he's playing at a decent standard.
The class him as the new Haaland.
Yeah, but the class lots of people as the new whoever's the player in fashion at the moment doesn't mean they're going to turn into them.
I'm going to ask Sam. Sam, would you take him, Sam?
I'm in like 50-50. His stats are impressive, but again, I'll come to Roy's point as well as to see what division he's in. I think I would like to see maybe have a season or two in France or Germany or even Spain to see his minerals after that. And then if the stats are like that, then yeah, because although we could sign him and loan him out, or we could sign him and like give him time to gel and mold and bring him on for a couple of years. Again, like I said, I'm 50-50 on it. You could look at it for signing for the future, but then you could also look at it and go, yeah, it's the Belgian league, and the good Belgian players get snapped up pretty straight away readily, and then they get shipped over Europe. They don't stay in the Belgian league for too long, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the summer. I mean, that transfer for me screams of Burnley all over. I think company might try and nab him from and use a bit of his Belgian nous to try and get him the turf and to try and keep them up. Who knows? But like I've just said, I'm 50-50 on it. I would rather go for someone like I'm not going to say when I get him, but like an Osimhen type player who looks to be like the finished article now and knows where the goal is, playing in the top leagues, playing in the Champions League. That's what for me. There's the level we need to be going at. I mean, I wouldn't be good if we did sign him for, like I said, for the long run. But again, I'll come back to Rory's point and say it's the Belgian league. We can't. I'm not, his stats are very good for somebody his age, but then I'll go, it's the Belgian league. That's, you've got to have some realism about it as opposed to 15 goals, 15 games. Yeah. I mean, but if he was playing against some, no disrespect to that league, but you've probably got Anderlecht and there's a Club Brugge in that league, which is the standouts, and the rest are a bit anonymous. So,
I mean,
I would say
a good example is you look at Adam Armstrong. He's absolutely killing it in the Championship. Goes to Southampton and can't do anything because of the jumping level.
I mean, he's played in the Europa Conference League this season as well. He's obviously played against West Ham. He's played 6 games, started 5 of those, and he scored 5 goals in the Europa Conference League.
Yeah, but we've seen the quality of the teams he play in the Europa Conference League.
Well, yeah, we know that. We know the quality in that league is not the greatest, but still, he's scored the goals. I mean, last season when he was in the Norwegian league, he started 19 of 22 games and scored 16 goals.
Yeah, I'm not looking at his scoring record. I'm just very sceptical of the level he's doing it at, and will he be able to do it at a higher level?
Rolly, we've got a man called Eddie Howe.
Yeah, I know we have.
And the thing is, he's only 20, Rolly. He's got a long time to learn and a long time to grow. And the thing is, he's not the finished article. I'm not saying he's a finished article. All I'm saying is he's got time to grow. And, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, Rolly, And,
I know.
I know you're not sold on him, Rolly, but I mean, all I'm saying is it's one of those. It could be a low risk sign, even if it costs you 15 million quid. You look at it and think, okay,
I'd rather spend the 15 million on 3 or 4 18-year-olds for the development squad.
Right. Okay. Right. So the next one I'm going to come to is a one that Jan in the chat mentioned yesterday, Pete and Sam. And this guy plays for Anderlecht. Again, it's in the Belgian league. And he's a goalkeeper. His name is Bart Verbruggen. He's Dutch. He's a Dutch keeper.
Bart the what? Bart the what? The bugger?
Verbruggen. Verbruggen. He's 20-year-old, 6'4". His player value is 4.7 million euros. As we'll see, he plays for Anderlecht. He's played all 17 games this season and been team of the week 3 times. And he's done 46 saves inside the box, 18 from outside the box. He's caught 3 and parried 10. He's had no errors that's led to a shot, no errors that's led to a goal, and he hasn't committed any penalties either. And he's had no cards at all in those games. I mean, He's a 20-year-old. I think he's I think Sven Botman, when he was in the under-21s, had him as a goalkeeper as well. But I mean, again, it's a young lad, 20-year-old Pete. I mean,
It is.
there's no harm in bringing a young keeper in to
Definitely
get him
not.
ready, because Martin Dubravka's getting no younger. Pope's 30, so we need a younger keeper in to progress.
Definitely do.
And we had the same with Shea Given, didn't we? He came to 21. So
Yeah, we did.
I mean, again, what you think about him?
Yeah. Again, another player I like the sound of as well.
And obviously Botman knows him. Well, would
Yeah.
know him, I should imagine, because he's
Absolutely.
probably played under 20. Apparently Man United are looking at him as well, this keeper. So, I'll put his picture up on screen so you can see him. There he is.
Does it like it's Isaac again, man? Does he have the lad? Does everyone look like
But no, that's
he looks a
him
bit
there.
like
and
Botman, actually. He actually looks a
He
bit
does,
like Botman
doesn't
when
he?
you see him. He's got like the same haircut and everything.
It's not his brother, is it?
No.
Brother from another mother. But yeah, you like the sound of him, Pete?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
What about you,
Schofield
Sam?
doesn't know. We'll not go back on the last night again. I think he sounds like he's doing well, but again, I'll question the league he's in. But is he in the Belgian league?
Yeah, he's gone there from Holland, so
That would be a bit of a worry, because that would, to me, is going like a backward step. Because if he went to Belgium or Holland, because that's a better league for me, I think I would be a bit more and think, well, maybe sign him up and then keep him on loan at that club for another season. Then maybe when Dubravka goes next season, you can bring him in after he's had full season, another season that he's built. But I think again,
Anderlecht signed him.
season,
Yeah, Anderlecht signed him in 2020.
Yeah. I think as a goalkeeper, really, his position we need to strengthen urgently next season. I don't think so. I think there's more areas of the pitch that we need to look at. I mean, if anything, we're going to wait till January to sign a goalkeeper if needs be. I mean, we could even just loan on in January for the rest of the season and see how it goes. But I think there's more other areas of the pitch like that we need to concentrate on than a goalkeeper at the moment. Yeah, his stats sound good, but again, I'll come back to another. The point Rolly makes is what division he's playing in, who he's playing against, etc., etc. But I mean, if we, like I said, if we like got stuff agreed, and if we did go for him and signed him maybe for next summer and left him at the club he is on loan, like give him another season of football, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. But like they're looking for the future, but again, we've got a long summer ahead for Lincoln players now. The window's not open for that. Was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So
June,
yeah.
So
it's
not that far.
2 weeks on. Is it 2 weeks on Wednesday? So yeah, it's still got a while. We could be guessing and knowing a lot of players' opinions wise.
Yeah. I mean, Anderlecht bought him 3 years ago. From NAC Breda under 18s for £300,000. So obviously they saw something in him that they thought, oh, hang on, we like the look of this lad. But remember, yes, I know he's playing in Belgium, but remember, we signed a young Dutch keeper in the name of Tim Krul, a 17-year-old from Den Haag. And he weren't a bad keeper, was he? So,
No, like Tim
he come from one of the teams that struggled in Holland.
Are both the players you've highlighted playing international football or not?
I think he plays.
Is it under 21s?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought he's been in the seniors. It doesn't say he's playing any international football.
Does he start for Anderlecht?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he's played all their games this season.
Okay, so
I think
I have a slightly different take on the goalkeeper. I think goalkeeping is slightly different than outfield, because if you're a great shot stopper, it doesn't matter what league you're in, you're going to be a good shot stopper. But if you started for Anderlecht play in, were they in the Europa League or were they Champions League qualifying?
Who Anderlecht? Europa Conference they were in.
They're in the conference as well.
Yeah, well they were.
I
They're
thought
not in it
they
now
might
because
be.
obviously they're not in it. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Europa Conference League, and in that league he played 6 out of 6. Team of the week twice.
Yeah.
And only conceded 5 goals.
I thought Anderlecht might have been in the Europa, but yeah, at that age for a goalkeeper, you still got a lot of development to go.
Yeah.
So it's one that you potentially buy and loan out.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
it's only going to cost you 5 million.
For 5 million. Yeah, and then you're bringing him in. We need 3 keepers. At the moment, we've got 2 that are going to start. So he could potentially beat out the likes of Gillespie for the 3rd keeper. So there's a potential role for him there.
Remember, Krull was chucked in as a young goalkeeper, remember?
He came into the academy, though, didn't he? When we got him, he was 17.
Yeah.
So it's essentially brought into the academy, which is different from looking for someone to come into the first team squad.
Yeah, but Krull had never played he was thrust straight into European football, wasn't he? I think that was his first game, wasn't it?
But he'd been in the club for a while back before.
In that 2 Bob Cup.
Yeah, he'd been at the club for a while, and we needed a keeper, and he did well. I'm not saying the guy can't have potential. I'd be more akin to taking the goalkeeper than the striker. I just think that would he cope with the defensive? How much better the league is. It's a lot harder.
To be honest, Dutch keepers.
It's a lot harder for a outfield player to excel in a better league than it is for a goalkeeper.
To be fair, Dutch keepers have always done well in the Premier League, in all honesty.
No, I think,
and if the price is right, if you're talking about 3 or 4 million, I think that's one that's worth investigating. I do
Jan says get gift Orban and Verbruggen now from Anderlecht, both for £15 million. That would be a bargain of the decade.
Again, I think that this has a whiff of Vincent Kompany going back to his old club to try and get them.
Anderlecht. Peter says, didn't Gift score a ton of goals for his previous club? Yes, he did. He scored lots for his club in Norway as well. That's why they signed him. Dan Byrne played well for Darlington a few years. Yeah, absolutely. He started at Darlington, yeah. Mark says, do you think we go for Madison now, Leicester down?
Yeah,
I think so. Do you reckon, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think we've got to go in tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. There's got to be a bid on the table for them. Literally.
How much do you think, Sam?
I would say
12 months
40
on his
the
deal.
table. I'll put 40 for a test of water and say, listen, you're going to need the money next season. You're going to have to sell him because he's not going to be wanting Champions League football. And no offence, who's going to be able to pay the money that we can afford him to pay for him? It's relatively us because Spurs are going to be in debt for the stadium, and you know what? I think he gets in our team. Simple as that. He gets in our team, so it makes sense. Just go in and get the deal done early, and then he's here on the first day of the new season. He's on pre-season, so. But I
don't think he'd go to Spurs or Sam, would he?
No, not when we're in the Champions League runs. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Trippier's texting him a few times as well. Come on, mate.
Yeah.
I would be like. Plus, they'll be seeing each other for England. Is Martin in? Did Martin get an England squad? Did he?
Yes, I think he did. Yeah.
But there you go. I think Wilson as well will be going for weather, mate. You just think you could be passing to me every game this season and put the ball in the back of the net. I'll pass you on Isak. I mean, a front three of Isak, Wilson, and Madison, or Madison, Isak, or Madison, Isak, and Gordon or something like that, or Madison, Isak, ESM would frighten teams. Really would. Just pace, and all defenders hate pace, don't they? So it means we'll have
Yeah, they
very,
do,
very
absolutely.
good options going forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're being linked with this player who's on a free transfer in the summer. Obviously, his strengths is long ball tackling position. He's a centre midfielder, and he's like I say, his contract's up in June, so he'll be a free transfer. And yes, he's 28-year-old. But the thing is, Sam and Pete and Rolly, would you have him? Adrien Rabiot.
He's a
Depends on
defensive
his wages.
player, isn't he?
Depends on his wages.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've got to stop having that stickler now. We've got to start looking at paying more money because
Yeah, we
if
will
you want
do.
a better player, you've got. But the thing is, he's on a free. The same as
Yeah, I know,
Marco
but
Asensio. Would you have him? He's on a free.
Again, it
Marcus
depends.
He'll be on
Thuram's on
high
a free.
wages.
But the problem with the wages things, if you suddenly bring someone in that's on, let's say he wants 300 grand a week, that's almost double what Bruno's in on. So everybody's going to come, look, you're paying him that. I want my wages up. And then you get, until we've got sort of Champions League a couple of seasons in a row, we've never got all this money coming in. It makes it hard to really bust the wage structure. We're going to have to, but you need to do it incrementally. We need the revenue to increase before we do a drastic change in the wage structure. Because I mean that's one of the reasons that Leicester got into the mess they're in, and also Everton, because they brought players on big wages, and then up everybody else's wages, and it wasn't sustainable because they didn't have the income coming in, the sponsorship and everything. We will bust our wage structure. That will go up, but again, it's part of the process. Will be incremental. It's not going to do it all in one go. That's why I say, well, if the wages are okay, yeah, great.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first person we've got to do it for is Bruno. I think if we've given you a contract of Bruno and say up your contract and then say to him, listen, people that are coming in are going to be on similar wages to you, but you're going to be the number one pay, then yeah, fair enough. And I think I honestly think as well the owners and Eddie, they'll probably all have a meeting together and tell the players what's going to happen. And just rather than just spring it on them, they'll probably say, listen, we're going after this player, that player. We're not necessarily going to get them, but these are the wages we're going to be looking at. And if you just keep doing what you're doing, you'll get new contracts and your wages will go because you have deserved this. Now, these players are coming in because they're international players. So a lot of our players at our club are internationals. We've got to get that through as well. How many have we got? 3 or 4 maximum.
Yeah.
So, if say we went for a Declan Rice or something, I'm not saying we're going to get him, but he's an international player. All the players we're going to be signing now are going to be international level players. So a lot of our players that we now will have to up it again to compete with these players and get on. And if they do, then they deserve the pay rise. If not, then unfortunately for the job they've done for it, they will be moved on and replaced with another international caliber type player who will be worth the wages that you pay. That's what you've got to do. And it'll just be over each per window, like what Man City have done. Build a squad first, and then you can add the absolute top quality, one window by window by window by window, and you'll get there. But look, it's took them 15 years, so it's probably going to take us 15 years. Maybe it might take us 10 because I think we've got more financial clout. But then we've got FFP to compete with, as we keep saying, that 3-lettered word. So we'll just have to wait and see. But personally,
once the commercial revenue has really up, that's when we can start having multiple players on these really big contracts.
Yeah. But you do know since when Man City got their takeover, we've got in the top 4 quicker than Man City did.
Yeah. So what rather than it taking us 15 years, it might take us 8.
As we said, as soon as we get that shirt sponsor, there'll be more sponsors coming this summer. We'll have the main sponsor, and I'd imagine we'll have more possibly to put on the stadium or put on the arms or put on the shorts, put on the training ground, new training ground that's going to get built. etc., etc. Even just have one billboard in St James's for the whole season. That's it. We know that that's going to prove a massive income because the income we're getting off fun betting is nothing. I mean, Noon, who our shirt sponsor, are giving more than what the main sponsors given her. So,
Yeah,
you know, that tells you the levels we're going to be at. I think that'll be the telling point. As soon as that shirt sponsor drops, that'll know what ballpark we're in this summer for spending. Like I've said, I think it'll be this week where it'll get done. They'll probably have early shirt designs already out because they might already know who's going to be our sponsor. And I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if the new strip gets launched with the sponsor on the same day. Something like that'll happen just to try and kill two birds with one stone and to try and sell the shirt straight away and to get more revenue.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, yesterday, somebody, I can't remember who it was in the chat now, but they mentioned this player, and he plays for Sporting Lisbon. He's got a contract with 2027, but he's a right-footed centre half, and obviously we could do with a right-footed centre half as well as cover. He's Ivory Coast, and he's 19 years of age and 6'3". So, like I say, he's a right-footed centre half. His value is 4.2 million euros, and he's called Usman Diamande, and he plays for Sporting, and apparently he's ripping it up in Portugal. He started 11 out of 13 games. He's got 1 goal, and the 1 goal he scored was from his head. He's been involved in 5 clean sheets when defending. He's had 2 errors that's led to a shot, and he's had 1 error that's led to a goal. Bearing in mind he's 19. I mean, Sporting signed him for $7.5 million in January this year from FC Midtjylland. I think that's Denmark. So they signed him from there. And I mean, look, he's 19, but he could be an eventual successor to Cher, because Cher's not getting any younger, is he, Pete?
No, he's not. That's why we could do is another centre back in. Lascelles, we need to move him on as well. So someone like him would be good. Plus, there's the talks.
Yeah.
There's been talks of the Napoli centre back as well.
Or Kim Major, Jan, or whatever you call him. Yeah. Man U's after him as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Minjai.
But we do need another.
Minjai, yeah.
But it's a definite area we need to strengthen as well.
Yeah. I mean, what about you, Sam? I mean, he's only 19. He's got time to grow, hasn't he? And at $4 million, it's not a bad price, is it?
Yeah, you could bring him in and have him as a backup centre back this season and bed him in.
Yeah.
He's playing in Europe as well, so I think Shaw's out of contract then the next summer. So whether he gets kept on beyond that, I don't know because of his age. Shaw, Lascelles is out of contract next summer as well, so it's it's something that I'll have to get addressed either this summer or it'll definitely have to get done next summer because we could be losing 2 of them.
Yeah. And he's played in the Europa League this season as well, so he's got European experience.
How many games has he started Sporting?
What, this season?
Yeah.
He started 11 out of 13.
See,
but they only signed him in January.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with people playing in the Portuguese league because it's a decent standard.
I think it is as well.
Yeah.
What about Manuel Agart? I mean, another good player.
Yeah. I think he'll go somewhere else, but yeah. I mean, the Diamando guy, yeah. At age, playing at a decent level, has played at a decent level. He would be there as understudy to Shah. Yeah, if you give him a decent price, you'd be glad to hear Tony. I'd take him.
I mean, Jan says Madison's too expensive for him. He says we can get 2 young players for his price and better as well.
I don't think Madison
Premier League proven.
Madison will not go more expensive now because they're down. Leicester will need the money. They'll need to clear off the wage bills as well.
Mighty Max says 25 to 30 million for Madison.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Lee says 35 million for Madison and Fraser free.
If anything, you know what though? If anything though, offer them one of the goalkeepers because they need one.
Yeah. Oh, they need a keeper, all right. Yeah. Lewis says, I was happy for Jamal Lewis, the young lad. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Lewis
that's
Miley, the young
Miley.
lad who came on for his Newcastle debut. So close to getting his first goal as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Lucky at the bar.
Yeah, he was very unlucky. I was surprised to see Jamal Lewis come on, in all honesty.
I was as well.
So
Mark says, do you think Everton should lose points? Leicester could sue the Premier League. Yeah, they could
They
do,
should.
absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
twice that have been breaching FFP. It's just ridiculous.
Daniela says you will have to start paying players 200 plus a week.
yeah, we will.
200,000 plus a
We
week.
need to get the sponsorship in place first.
That's what the likes of Rice and Kane want.
Yeah. In time, we will be paying that sort of money, if not more.
Yeah. You're going to have to wait to get your first Champions League money. The thing is,
That's the whole, yeah.
for
That's the
finishing
whole point.
fourth, we get 37 million for finishing fourth in the Premier League, and for getting into the Champions League. This is not even with the TV money. This is just for qualifying for the Champions League. We get another 39 million. So there's 76 million pounds straight in the bank. So straight away, that 76 million pound gets you a player or two, or maybe, it depends what sort of player you want. So you've got 76 million straight away there. Then you've got the sponsorship on top of that. That's another 25 million. So that's 101 million pound there straight away. And before any, and that doesn't affect your FFP. That just helps your FFP even more. And then you've got all the television money coming from the Champions League, which is massive.
Yeah.
And everything else that goes with the sponsorships from them. And, and the thing is, he has a question for you and Sam, Pete, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you both this question, right? So on the front of the shirt, if it's going to be Salah, say, for instance, we're going to have Salah on the front of the shirts.
Yep.
Now, Luton Town have it.
Salah.
Now, hang on. Luton Town have it. Luton Town have it. Man United have it. And a few other teams have it. Should we not be going out and getting a training kit sponsor?
Yeah, why not?
We might do. There's no reason to say Salah could sponsor one. Saudi Airlines could sponsor another, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the Saudi, what you call it, Saudi Arabian at Newcastle trading facility or something, or Saudi Airlines Newcastle trains. I don't know the name. I'm just throwing out bands. I think, it could be a case of, I've heard on other podcasts though that Man United sponsorships ending with their current one that gets £300 million and they might be jumping ship to Newcastle. That's what I've heard on other podcasts as well. So if that happens, if they're jumping from Man U to Newcastle, does that not show you the direction both clubs are going in?
Yeah, definitely. Mason says he didn't see the game. He was up in Northumberland coastline for the afternoon. Didn't miss a lot, to be fair, Mason. B930 channel says, I bet Diaby will be a lot of money because they're in Europe League final. His team he's an amazing player for Newcastle and could challenge for the title next season if we got him. Diaby, yes, I would take him. Do you think we're in for him still, Pete?
I think something could happen. If there's a lot of talks that a bid could be imminent, I think we could be. He ticks all the boxes for me. We need another winger in.
What about you, Sam? Do you reckon we'll get Diaby?
No, I'm not saying we'll get him. I think we'll be definitely in for him. It's a case of we've got the Champions League ammunition now to fire at him. Maybe he wanted to come in the summer. He was unsure because we just staved off relegation, but we've got that carrot to dangle in front of us now to say we're in the biggest league in Europe now, the Champions League. We're in the big league now. So people now have got no excuses not to come, unfortunately for them. So if we offer them contracts and with great fees and all that, they've got no excuses not to come.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a
Jan
minute.
says we could.
Drink with you. With two takes.
No worries, mate. Jan says we could bring in 6 new players for 50 million each, and if only 4 of them make it on the bench, we're on a winner. Eventually, we will make all of under this management. This is a good building for me.
Mm-hmm.
That means we're spending 300 million, which I can't see we're spending that much.
No.
And you're not going to get every player that
good player
you want for 50 million.
I think what you're saying is we buy 6 players for a total of 50 million. 6 young players for a total of 50
Oh,
million.
okay. Is that what he means? Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
big
Okay. Sorry, I read that wrong. I looked at that as 50 million each. I'm thinking, yeah.
I mean,
No. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's not a bad shout. Yeah.
the only thing I say about that is, look what happened to Southampton by following that route.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a difference. So
Yeah, I know there's a difference, but yeah, but we need big players that are going to make the squad stronger. Getting the young players with putting them into the youth system, the under 19s, under 21s, to save us money. That's why he's paid. Was it 600,000 for Garan Kowal for the future?
I mean, Daniela says Harvey Barnes is priced at 50 million. I think Madison will be the same, if not more. I'm not so sure because Madison's only got
Not in the championship. They're not.
No.
If they stayed up,
says, yeah. Man City have a training shirt sponsor as well. Absolutely. We need to be all over this, Pete. We need to be all over this. I think it's next summer you'll be able to spend big, says Daniela.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
yes, and a sticker for their forehead.
I think we'll probably get in 2, maybe 3 relatively expensive players and a couple of cheaper ones. Some bargains.
Yeah. Lewis says Saudi Airlines at St James's Park. That'll be all right. I mean, the thing is, right. I know there's a lot of people not happy about having the name, but they're not going to change the name of St James's. All they're going to do is they want to put in a sponsorship in front of the name. And so, say, for instance, if it was Aramco, it would be Aramco at St James's Park. Now, I haven't got a problem with that. If that's going to bring 30 or 40 million pound a season into the club, I don't care if they want to put that name in front of St James's Park, because to me, it'll always be St James's Park. And if the owners are going to say, look, it would be Aramco at St James's Park, then I don't see the problem with that. I mean, Sam, do you agree with that one?
No, if means it helps with the
yeah.
When we need sponsors at the minute,
40, 50 million a season in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what it's like now compared to what Mike Ashley was doing. He was just doing it for his own benefit and gain. These are doing it now for the club's benefit and gain. That's what we need.
Just quickly, Tony. I need to leave you now.
Okay, Roddy.
I'll see you tomorrow evening for your show then.
Yeah. So, okay then, Rolly.
Bye, everyone in the chat.
See you later, Rolly.
So again,
I think you want to follow Rolly. He's on Twitter at Paul69. 67, sorry. 69,
does Rolly have Instagram or not?
I'm not sure.
It's all right. Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I'll ask him if he has next time I see him.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got no problem with that.
Anything that helps us get revenue in and gets us the better players. Who's to say that in 2 or 3 years' time they might just say, "Now we'll just take it off because we're getting our money back now on the revenue, so we don't need to do it." Like we could change it back. Yeah. It's like I said, the problem Mike Ashley was doing it was he didn't tell anybody he was going to do it, and he was only doing it for his own gain and for have Sports Direct all over the world. These are doing it for the club's gain, for us to gain, for us to get better players, and because of how far Mike Ashley left us behind from everybody else, we're playing catch up still.
I reckon if Coventry had come up yesterday and beat Luton and come up, I tell you now, that Coventry Stadium's name would have been changed next season to the Sports Direct Arena and been plastered with Sports Direct signs, because they would have been in the Premier League, and because he owns the ground, he can change the name.
Who's to say it's still not going to be?
Yeah, could be in the Championship. Yeah. Mark says Man City sponsored by everything. Yeah, they have. They've got everything sponsored.
The thing what annoys me is, right, you look at last week, I had talk shite on, everyone's going, "Oh, why you got that shite on?" Well, I was just all the way listening, and Jim Shite he brought up the sponsorship row that, of, "Oh, this shouldn't be allowed," and all this, and I'm thinking, you're a bit rich talking about this, considering you look at the other two state-owned clubs. PSG in Qatar are owned by the state airline, which is Qatar Airways. So what's the difference there? Man City,
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi. Man City are owned by Etihad, who are the state-owned airline of Abu Dhabi, and get their sponsorship off them. What's wrong with that? You've not complained about them before. So what's the difference between us
No.
being owned by a Saudi Arabian company? What's the difference? I didn't hear you
It's like-
come quite well, you know. Absolutely,
Yeah.
it pisses me off. That's still going on about it.
I mean, it was like Leicester, because once Jonas came in and they ripped down the Sports Direct signs, Leicester were one of the first clubs to say, "Oh, we need to change the rules on sponsorship." Hang on a minute, Leicester, your stadium's named King Power after your owner's company. King
Yeah.
Power used to be on your shirts after your owner's company. So what's the difference? It's because they're frightened of us because we've got the money.
That's it. Ours has no ceiling, and that eventually we will go beyond Man City because of the power that we've got financially. We will. We're nowhere near them yet, but we have the potential to go beyond them if we do it right. If we follow the way they've gone, we will go above them. Yes, they've got charges like as long as me arm hanging over them, and I think we'll be doing everything we can to avoid getting any of them charges. That's why it might take us a bit longer because we're going to do it right.
Yeah. B930 says, imagine Newcastle have had some good, decent players who are out of contract. Soon want to come. He says, I'd like Newcastle to go for Firmino. I think he's going abroad for Firmino.
Is he?
I think at 31, I don't think we would take him, would we?
No. I think if you look at our prerogative, all our signings are going to be players with potential or players who are literally as good as hitting their ceiling now so that they can hit the ground running, or they can bed themselves in for a season or two. So
yeah.
And I think as well, the thing is as well, when people say, oh, you're not going to have marquee signings or you'll get one. What is a marquee signing to me? To me, James Maddison's a marquee signing because he's a player that a couple of years ago we could only dream of having, and now he's a possibility of what actually could have. That's a marquee signing. It sends a statement. I don't like people might say Neymar is and all that, but no, they're ridiculous signs because we're not going to sign them type of players.
Neymar's got a nasty attitude, so you would upset the dressing room. You didn't see the game, but it sounded like Mickey didn't have his shooting boots on. No, he didn't.
Any footy boots on.
Daniela says,
I don't think he had any footy boots on.
No. I think with the players from relegated sides, it all depends on how long the contract is and how much they play up about being out of the Premier League. Well, Maddison's only got a year left on his contract, Daniela, so, Leicester have got to be smart on getting rid of him. Yes, they've got to pay 15% sell-on clause to Norwich City, and that's got to be paid in full. So I think Norwich are going to be highly miffed with them anyway because they know that last season in the summer they could have sold him and got a decent money for him, and Norwich would have got a lot of money out of that. Now, if they sell him a little bit less than they could have got last season, then Norwich are going to be a lot more pissed off because they're not going to get as much money as they would have got in the summer. So it's an interesting one, but again, we'll wait and see what happens. Who knows? Andrew says, sorry I'm late, lads. How are you all? Yeah, absolutely fine, mate.
Well, Andrew, you look different in your picture now. Andrew, you look like Sir Bobby Robson and Eddie Howe in your picture now. Have you had a makeover?
He does, doesn't he? David Knight says, what a season, guys. Absolutely.
Oh, yes, David. Absolutely.
We'll take the top four anytime, mate.
Absolutely, we will.
I mean, yes, even if we'd won, we wouldn't have finished third because Ferret Face got the winner for Man United. Ferret Face always scores, doesn't he? Mitrovic must have been a penalty as well.
Well, I could have been 2-0 to him, couldn't it? It could have been a wholly different game if that goes in.
Andrew said something. I said, Rolly, lol. Nah, he was going off anyway. He's wanting to go and get some dinner because he's hungry. Mag says, Everton are happy with the relegation scrap, aren't they just?
I mean, the scenes are just ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Lewis says, I don't care if they change the name, but they have to keep St James's Park as part of it. I think they would do, Lewis. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's got a problem with that.
So
Lewis
some
says
fans have
because
to
everybody's
realise
jealous.
change is going to happen, unfortunately, and I think in the long term as well, we'll have a new stadium. It's just one of them things. You have to move with the times. Everybody else is
Yeah,
moving with the times. Everyone's getting. Look at Tottenham; they've got a brand new stadium. Arsenal's got a brand new stadium. The Bin Dippers are going to get a new stadium. Everybody's moving with the times. You've got to, for us to progress, we can't just stay in a 50,000 seater because everyone else is getting bigger stadiums. Look at Liverpool have expanded to 70 odd thousand now. Man City have had a
yeah,
stadium given them in the last 20 years as well. We can't stay in a 50,000 seater, unfortunately. And if it means building a new stadium, then so be it. I'm not going to complain if we end up having trophy after trophy after trophy because that's all we've ever wanted is to see we win things. That's the main
yeah.
thing. That's what makes you the big club. Putting the trophies in the cabinet, not where you play your football, unfortunately.
Daniela says, isn't the fact that City are sponsored by everything is a reason that they're being looked into by the league with their finances? I think there's a lot more than that, to be fair.
Plenty.
Plenty, yeah. Jan says, the all knows now can't stop us. They all know they can't stop us. We're getting there now, and it won't be 5 years. Absolutely. Andrew says, I'd rather find the next marquee players. Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen?
says,
Can I just quickly change tag? I see Real Madrid are after Hosselu. Could you believe that? After us selling them,
yeah, I saw that the other day.
Ancelotti's come out and said he wants to buy him. Flipping Hosselu. That's unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, because he's been absolutely brilliant in Spain. He scored 2 goals on his debut for the senior team, the Spain national side.
He's a top scorer or something, isn't he? He was one of the top scorers in Spain.
Since he's left us, he's been hot in Spain.
Yeah, yes.
He's not the only one hot in Spain
it?
either. Not the only one hot over there, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'd be boiling.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I mean, but yeah, it's unbelievable with Hosselu, though, isn't it? I mean, he's at Espanyol at the moment, but yeah, he's 33 now, Hosselu, but they want him as replacement for Benzema. I mean, this season he started 33 out of 34 games and he scored 16 goals, which is 1 and 2, and he's got 2 assists. Last season, he played 35 out of 37 and got 14 goals and 4 assists. So yeah, he's been doing well. He's got a couple of years left on his contract, but again, if Real Madrid go knocking, he ain't going to hang around, is he? So it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Not at his age, because of the bees last.
Yeah. Let's go for more Salah, says Jake.
I've had enough of these tears. I don't want these tears. No.
Yeah. Andrew says, I enjoyed the Carlisle game today. Well done to them. Yeah, absolutely fantastic, Carlisle, and getting through on penalties.
Yep,
another game that went to penalty shootout. And the quality of penalties in these finals have been absolutely fantastic so far. I think the game tomorrow is going to be a cracker, the South Yorkshire Derby. I think there'll be a lot of people watching that one because that will be a cracking game.
I'm at work, so I'll be missing it.
Andrew says, I'll look younger than how. B930 says, is anyone going to the pre-season matches?
No.
Yeah. Are you going to go to the Rangers game, Pete?
I've not thought about it's on a Tuesday, the Rangers game. I'll try and get I'll try and get to the home one. I'll get myself to the home ones. Away one I'll try to if it's probably a weekend or something.
Yeah. What were we going to say, Sam?
We've only had the Rangers one announced, got testimonial, and the one in America. They're the only ones we've had announced.
Yeah.
I would like to think they do a home one or two, like what they did last year, where they played 2 games at home in 2 days, so they played 2 different teams. If we've got that, so hopefully they do that again. Because obviously I went to one of them last year and it was good. So.
Oh yeah, which one?
The Saturday one.
Bill-
Can't remember, was it
Bill
Bill?
Bob-
Was it
Bilbao, yeah.
Bilbao.
Mm.
Yeah, because we played at Atlanta on the
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Andrew says, "How jammy are Everton?" He says, "But they won't be next season."
Hmm.
B930 says, "I bet the final whistle will be sad Leicester went down." Yeah, Jack from the final whistle, great
Oh,
lad.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
will
will
be.
be. He'll be absolutely gutted. He will be. Andrew says, "Seen the article earlier that Barca won Bruno for 85
Yeah.
million long. That
No,
would only
no.
buy
There's
his
no
left
way-
testicle."
Wouldn't even buy his big toe. That they couldn't afford. They couldn't afford him even if they sold all their squad and tried to sign him. They couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
They're skinned.
Andrew
Want any
says,
money?
"Quality pens." Yeah, definitely. Jan says, "We don't need the top earner players, just a few more years and they are the history." Ian says, "I would not go to Ibrox for either, Pete."
Oh, because he had been Celtic as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, there's bound to be some home matches announced, I would imagine, as well.
it would be.
Yeah. Jan
I
says,
bet Johnson.
"If you're clever,
But
you can
Johnson
watch
Clare
football
probably
from
supports
anywhere."
Celtic as well. Sorry. Johnson Clare supports Celtic as well, doesn't he? As well as that 20-odd
Yeah.
team he supports.
Yeah, in the Serie A teams.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I used to laugh when I was on Twitter. And it would say NUFC and Celtic and Atlanta and Inter Milan and dedicated fan. I'm thinking, John, you support more teams than anything else. How would you just say you're a dedicated fan of these clubs? You won, and then obviously,
Hey.
like you said yesterday, you would say FF these Man U fans, but like you would deny it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, the thing is with John, right? He's a nice guy, Johnny is. He really is a nice guy. But, I mean, even Rowley said it in the past. It's not like a Newcastle channel. He talks a lot of general football, so he should just have it as a general football channel rather than a Newcastle channel. I mean, when Conte got sacked, he was going to bring a Spurs fan on and talk about Conte being sacked. And Paul from Toon Review messaged him and said, "John, don't do it, John. You've got a Newcastle channel. It's not a Tottenham channel." And John was like, "Oh yeah, but I just wanted to talk about Conte." And he's like, "Why do you want to talk about Conte?"
I think everybody's told them. I've told them numerous times. Everybody's told them. You either be a dedicated channel for one club or you be a football channel in general for the whole of football as opposed to just dedicating yourself to one thing. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't think he's listening to anybody, unfortunately. And I'm sorry, but there's no wonder people have unsubscribed to him and he's lost followers and everything for it because nobody knows what he's going to talk about. Nobody knows what he's going to do.
No.
It's I'd rather be subscribed to a channel that knows what they're doing. That's one channel talks about one thing. Like this talks about Newcastle. Paul to review talks about Newcastle.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you need. Peter talks about Newcastle. I mean, probably, yeah. Last night we had a laugh about Philip Schofield and all that, but that was just a football show in general. It wasn't just about Newcastle.
That's just that's just because it's to get people to
Yeah.
laugh. It's to get people talking on board. Because it's football live show.
Exactly. I mean,
and it's open to any fans to come on as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Philip doesn't play for anybody but himself, so we ended up going straight in that way because of the way it went. But it's like he says he's John NUFC Sinclair, and I'm thinking you can't be NUFC John or NUFC John NUFC Sinclair, or because you're not just talking about them. In fact, he talks more about other clubs than Newcastle when I see he streams through the week.
Yeah.
I don't get why he doesn't have any other song because we're Newcastle fans and yet he has fans of every other club.
Yeah. He won't have me back on his channel because I called his mods out and he said he can't have us on there because that will cause trouble with the mods and he's got to look after his mods at the end of the day.
I'm sorry,
I'm like, John, it's your channel.
Modding isn't a full-time job. You don't get paid for it. It's just, I mean, come on, John. Not being horrible, mods graft their bollocks off, yeah, fair enough. But it's not a paid job. It's you do it for now. You do it out of the goodness of your own person, so you can't just, I'm sorry, John, but no, you can't just do it because your mod said so. if I do because you said so, because it's your channel, you've
Aye.
chose them to mod, you know.
I know he's a funny guy, is John. He really is. Andrew says he's knackers lol. That would be good if we got knee knackers in the middle. Blakey says Tony how about saying no to fair inside school. He was on your channel, wasn't he, Pete?
Oh, was he?
He was on your chat. He was on there. He was on the watch along this afternoon on the Tomb Review as well, doing the watch along. I just went straight away. Is that person in the picture who I know and who like when you went, it's him, but I'm not gonna name names. I thought it's just a bloke with a bloody clown nose on.
Mason says a Man United chippers. Yeah.
Yeah, John knows anything red, doesn't he?
Lee says, John, armchair supporter. He does go to the match. He's got a season ticket.
Aye, for Man U.
Apparently the kid was 15, not 17, just had to put it out there, says Mason.
Is that the Philip Schofield thing? Must be.
Yeah.
I know else
Philip used to be a ball boy.
He still is a ball boy now. He's just a double ball boy, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh God, honestly. But yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I know I've got a couple of different shows coming up this week, but that's different. But I'm still including Newcastle in them shows, so it's not like it's a football show. I mean, Tuesday it's called the European Tour, and it's with the top 7 clubs, like us included. So it's from like Man City, Arsenal, Man U, us, Brighton, Liverpool, Villa, and I've got a fan. I'm going to get a fan from each of those clubs on, ask them about their season, ask them what they think about our season, about where we've come, just to get their general thought. And
good idea.
I just thought it's something different. Let's put out there. I've never seen anything done like that before. I'm going to try for the first time. And then on Thursday, I've got another show coming out where I've got Dan from the Burnley fan, and I've got a Sheffield United fan. I'm just waiting for a Luton fan now, and that's going to be called Welcome to the Premier League. So the 3 promoted teams who have come up, and and speak with their fans, and about their seasons, and 2, how well they think their clubs have done, and how well they think they're going to do in the Premier League next season. So but they're a couple of different shows, but I think there'll be shows that people will enjoy.
Yeah.
So again, just something different because the season's finished. Just do something different,
Absolutely.
And I'm sure they will be good. I mean, I don't do in the chat. I don't say subscribers only can chat. I said to John, I wouldn't do it all the time, John. He said, well, yeah, you get subscribers. And I said, no, John, they'll only subscribe to chat and then they'll unsubscribe at the end of it when they come off the show. And he says, oh no, he says, I've had lots of subscribers out of that. He says, that's why I'm over 5k now. And I thought, well, I won't do it because I would rather people just come into the chat in general. I understand Paul does it on the watch-alongs, which is totally different because you don't just want any spam coming in there or anything. So you can see why he does it that way. But when he's got his general shows, Paul, it's open to anybody. So, but I wouldn't do it. Would you do? Because I wouldn't.
No, definitely wouldn't.
I mean, yeah, your subscriber count will go up, but then it'll drop again because the people who have been in chatting will just go out and just go, unsubscribe. That'll do me. Thank you very much. I don't see the point in it, to be fair.
No.
BS says, I'm up for being a mod, Tony, mate. To self-ban chipper laughing.
See, I would be a mod, but I miss a lot of shows because of work. Like I'm probably going to miss your shows this week because I'm at work. I'm probably going to miss the rest of Paul's shows this week because I might see if he does a fan forum on Tuesday, I might be able to top on. I might be able to pop on. That's it. But like I'm on late Thursday, Friday, so I'm not going to be any of them. So it would be pointless me being a mod, really.
Yeah. Gary says, I remember when Sam was on John's channel and John said, I'm bringing a Man U fan on Sam Ball and made a quick exit.
Because it was a Man U fan on the Newcastle channel. I'm not being funny, we're talking about Newcastle. So I was bringing a Man U fan on for. Makes no sense.
Thing is with Johnny, didn't like when I used to slate Man United on the, and I say, but John, when Newcastle fans, we don't like Man United. And he's like, oh, I know, but he says, I've got Macy coming on, but don't go too much on it because you might get upset. And I'm like, I don't think so, John. I think she's heard it all before. But every time I used to slate Man U, he used to always like sort of look funny, and he used to say nothing about it and go, oh, come and move on to this now. It's like, well, why, John? What's up? Julie says, I wonder what James Madison's release clause is. I don't think he's got one. I'm not sure. Mason says it's John Sinclair on for a Man U perspective. Godfather, evening lads, a bit late today, going back to start the stream. All right, no worries, mate. Thank you very much. Lee says, sounds great. Them shows, Tony. Yeah, I'm sure there will be. Andrew says, I think Luton will get hammered every week. Hey, I tell you what, Andrew, I don't think so. I think they'll surprise a few people, especially at that tight little ground they've got. Aye, that's a good idea, Tony, with other fabs, yeah, other fans, yeah. Daniela says, doing any England games? Yeah, I mean, I'll do the pre-match lineup things for the England games and match review afterwards as well. So yeah, why not?
Who are playing these games at Malta and someone else? I can't remember. I don't even know.
Is it North Macedonia or something? Is it?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, if we don't score 5 goals in each game, then we're doing. Honestly,
saying that, Chip, as you're laughing about North Macedonia when I mentioned them, but remember, they knocked Italy out of the stopped Italy going to the World Cup by beating them in Rome 2-1. So yeah,
to be fair, we just scraped past Italy in the last game, didn't we?
Yeah. 16th of June we've got Malta, and then 19th of June we've got North Macedonia. Malta's away.
That's my 2 weeks off. That's my 2 weeks off.
Yeah. Is it? And North Macedonia is at, I think, Old Trafford.
Oh, John will be there then.
Yeah, it is. It's Old Trafford.
Oh.
John will be there then.
The answer is yes to that. Yeah. Paul says, glad to see Joe Linton finally getting a call-up for Brazil. Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it? Joe Linton in the Brazilian squad.
Yep.
Yes, I've done it before. Troll Mark Goldbridge, says Jake. Chip is at work this week, apparently stalking Sophia is a full-time job.
Oh!
I don't. I just say hello. I'm sorry, what's the crime of saying hello? Honestly. As soon as I say hello, I get bloody pelters. And then she says hello back, so I'm just being nice.
Mighty Max says, I'll be tuning in, Tony, as always. Thank you very much. Enjoy the shows. Yes, North Macedonia, says Andrew. So does Mason.
North back, I thought you were going to say North McDonald's. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Daniela says they have a West Ham channel called the West Ham Voice, much like this one Monday night. You should check it out. Steve's a lovely guy. Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, we'll have a look.
Does he talk about Chelsea like John Sinclair talks about Newcastle and Man U?
No, he obviously talks West Ham stuff, but yeah, I mean, yeah. John's a one-off. Lee says Luton will put the teams off with them mucky skin marks, drawers and sticky socks on the washing line. Mason says John will be half and half scarf Man U in England. B930 says, imagine if John was a Man United manager and gets sacked. Ian says, I heard Paul's dog died. Is that true, Chip? A shame if it is. Yes, it is true. Yeah.
So heartbreaking.
4-year-old, no age at all. And thoughts go out to Paul as well.
Absolutely.
Disgusting for that troll law on Twitter. and I hope he's been taken off Twitter because he needs to be. Daniela says, yeah, we talk West Ham, but open to all fans. That's excellent, Daniela. Yeah, I will definitely check that one out. That's for sure.
That's good.
Yeah, that is brilliant. I mean, Pete, off today's match, do you have a man of the match in mind?
I'd probably say Dubravka for me. I've already pulled off some really good saves today. I really thought he did. Gordon's not far behind and with a goal. I think it's Dubravka for me.
Yeah. What about you, Chipras?
Yeah, I think Dubravka as well was probably man of the match, and I think he played the eyes if he had something to prove for next season. So he might have just earned himself another season here. So, but that's of course if he wants to be back up there, the holy one. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to go in the summer, then, can't stand in his way. He's getting on a bit now, and he might want to see the rest of his career somewhere else, but we will see. And I'll go with Dubravka as well. Daniela says we have a laugh and take the pay out of ourselves. Yeah, we'll definitely have a check of that, Daniela, absolutely. Yes, Dubs had a good game, says Ian. B930 says, imagine if you had Spurs fan Danny Aaron's on.
Don't know who he is.
I've never had him on. I've had Harry on before. Harry's a nice lad. Harry Scarf. I mean, he's the youngest. He's the youngest one I've had on this channel. At 14 years of age, but he knows his stuff. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, he's a great lad. Is Harry nice? I've been on his channel as well. But yeah. I mean, he'd be happy at the Tottenham result today, but not the fact that they're not even in Europe next season. So that's an interesting one. I mean, manager, Eddie Howe, did he get his lineup right? I think he did, because he just had to go with what he had, didn't he, really?
He had no choice. I mean, he could have started Wilson and played Isaac on the left wing instead of Maxi, but I don't know. I don't know. I've said I was seeing like that it could have been Maxi's last game. It might not be. So he might give him a farewell appearance. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got a long summer ahead of us.
Oh, we definitely have. I mean, the thing is, we talk about Maxi, and he did put out an Instagram post, Maxi. If anybody hasn't seen it, there it is there. And what he says on it is, this was, I think, yesterday he put this out. He said, look, never forget who was there and when no one else was. Time passes, memories fade. Feelings change, people leave. But hearts never forget black and white. Making history with a bird emoji. I mean, does that sound like a goodbye from Maxi?
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Or is he on about players leaving?
The picture's quite cryptic as well, with it being his family on the pitch, him and his family on the pitch. It's almost as if to say, you know what, I want to stay, but if the club want to let us go, then I'm not against it. That's why I think it could be a case of, you know what, I want to stay, but if a good offer comes in and they see it better for the club, then I'll go. That could be it. He might have said this, and if, like I said, he might have said this, and if I want to stay, but if the stupid offer comes in that you can't resist to turn down, and you get somebody in that's better than me or has the potential to be better than me, then I'll happily move on for the sake of the club.
Yeah, definitely. Daniela says, yeah, we also talk about the youth women's teams as well as the first team. Yeah, it's brilliant that. Our women's team's done very well to get promotion, and so we've only got to go another tier and we get, I think, to the championship, and then after that it's WSL. So let's hope we're up there in a few seasons' time. B930 says, and yours watching Newcastle match? Are you watching Newcastle match on Match of the Day? Are you, Pete?
I've already seen the goals.
No, because I'll be doing my player ratings and review at 10 o'clock.
So yeah.
Exactly.
I
was going to say, I'm going to go now, Tony. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine, Sam. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Just
Thanks for
pop us a
coming on,
message
mate.
next time it was on. I'll pop along.
Yeah,
Leave
I
it
will
up.
do, mate. No worries. Cheers, Sam. Bye, mate.
Good night.
But yeah, on the day we've seen Anthony Gordon get his goal.
Yep.
And because he scored the goal, let's give this to Gordon. There we are, guys. I thought I'd put that on for you. I mean, yeah, it's great. That in Pete. I love that little jingle too.
It is.
But yeah, no, we won't be watching it on that match of the day. I don't see the point in watching it back. We're seeing the game, and I was fairly disappointed with that second half. I thought we might have attacked more, but doesn't matter. We've got Champions League, and that's all that matters.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, realistically, over the summer, how many players do you want in, Pete?
Oh, it's a hard one, isn't it?
I mean, I'm seeing about 5 minimum.
Yeah, say 5, 6 minimum easy.
Yeah, and I know some. I think I saw. There's I don't know. Have you ever seen this channel that's on YouTube? And their videos are sometimes only about a minute and a bit long, or a couple of minutes long, and you normally get either a guy talking or a woman talking, and it's called Newcastle News.
All right, no,
I think it's all for clickbait. A lot of it, because have a look at it, Pete. Honestly, it's just rubbish, because the amount of stuff they come out with, and they come out with one saying, they've got a picture of Victor Osimhen saying that he's going to be signing for Newcastle, and say, what?
Price tax is about 170 odd million.
60 million, yeah. And it's like, Jesus Christ, honestly, But some of the crap they come out with, and I'm like, but then they're getting all the views for it, they're getting like over 1,000 views, and I'm thinking, why is people watching that shit? I mean, I saw somebody, another channel, put on a copy of Eddie's interview with TalkSport, but they just had the picture anyhow, but behind it you could hear the interview, and they've had over 4,000 views on it. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that.
No.
Plus, because you can get copyrighted for that as well.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful with copyright. Paul's, sorry, I've got to be avating, sorry. Newcastle United News is the old Newcastle United official TV. There is one for each club, all automated. Paul says, Lewis Miley unlucky not to score. Yes, he was very unlucky. And Paul also says, there was a fake Newcastle page I see months ago with a fake transfer news, and they used that voice on the iPhones. Yeah. Probably the same one, actually, to be fair. Gary says, you watched the match of the day? Jake says 17 years old in the Premier League, crazy. Yeah, youngest player for us in the Premier League, isn't he? So I thought he did all right when he come on.
Yeah, he did.
And he got a block in as well, didn't he?
He did.
Because they claimed a handball for it, didn't they? Or they tried to, but was never a handball. But yeah, no, he did really well, I thought, when he come on, and he's only going to get better and better, and it's nice just to give him a.
Who's popped up in the chat?
BS says, to be fair, better than the Inside Scoop. Say no to fake Inside Scoop. Have you not seen this one before, Pete? Sure, it was on your chat earlier tonight.
Oh, really?
Ari boys. Yeah, Ari there, mate. You're all right, aye. Pete's trying to work out the picture, aren't you?
I can't tell.
Good night, guys. I'm off soon. Yeah, no problem, Danielle. Thank you very much. And do keep tuning in, yeah. And I will be doing the England games as well, so yeah, definitely. And good luck for West Ham in that Europa Conference final as well. Gary says, yeah, I watched them but I don't like. I'll give them a subscription, lads. Oh yeah, those chant. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, Peter, it's Baz.
All right.
It's Baz, lol. I mean, I saw there was a thing pulled up. Apparently, Keith Downey pulled up Sean Casey on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Did you see that?
I
Yeah,
did
because
see that.
he
Yeah.
had it in Diaby and there was other players or something in there, and Keith Downey pulled him up on it.
Yeah, I did see that.
I just thought, oh my god, honestly. But yeah, honestly, it's mad. Go back on. It's definitely him.
All right. Fair enough.
What's that for? Is that
The note to fake inside scoops.
oh, right, okay.
Uh,
Baz from Through Black and White Eyes.
hmm.
It was Basil. Who's Baz? Andrew says, yeah, I saw that tweet. Kenny Good. Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. I think Sean Casey just thinks he knows everything, you know, and he doesn't. You know. But yeah, definitely. And yeah. So guys, we're coming to the end of the show now, and would you like to let people know where they can find you, Pete? And more importantly, what have you got coming up?
Yes, so you can find me on my channel, PD Proudluck. I'll be live in about 5 minutes to do the match review and the player rating show, the final one of the season. And you can find me on my social media, PD Proudluck, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Oh, lovely. Thanks, Pete. Thank you very much. Also, you can find me on my channel, All Black and White TV, which you're on now. Also, you can find me on Twitter at TonyTony31, same on Twitch, and on Facebook, it's All Black and White TV. Click to join, and I'll add you straight into the group as well. And if you've liked what you see, then please smash the like. It does help the channel up with search results. So if you haven't yet smashed that like, then please do so on the way out. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, smash that subscribe. That'd be great. Thank you very much, and helps the channel grow. And that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So I'm currently 5 away now, 5 subscribers away from 600. So that's absolutely fantastic. Shows coming up tomorrow night. I'm going to do a season in review. So we're going to have a review of the season from back in August right up to today. So we'll have a review how the season's gone, what we thought of the season. So that'll be tomorrow night or tomorrow at some point. I don't know when. Could be during the day maybe. So keep an eye out for that one. Tuesday, we're going to have the European tour. So there'll be myself and 6 other fans from, so we're going to have the top 7 there. And we're going to see how their seasons have gone and what they think about us breaking into the top 4 and breaking up the big 6. We've finished above 3 of them. And then on Thursday, we have a special one with the championship teams that have came up. Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton Town. And hopefully a Luton Town fan will be on. And that's called Welcome to the Premier League. So again, another different show, but I'm sure it'll be good crack. And yeah, and be sure to tune in for that one as well. And so yes, that should be an interesting show. Right, let's go on to Ian says, cheers guys, great show. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. Have a good evening. Mighty Max says, great show as always, Tony. Thank you very much indeed, Mighty. Lee says, there's only one best from TalkSport. Ali McCoist always respected us. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he does. Yeah. And Stuart Pearce is all right as well because he likes us because he played for us.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
See note to fake inside scoop says, have a good night, lads. You too, mate. Cheers. Thank you very much. Andrew says, you too. See you next time, lads. Yeah, cheers, Andrew. Thank you very much, mate, and we'll see you next time. And Gary says, great show, lads. Thank you very much indeed, Gary D. and I'm glad you've enjoyed it. And Lisa, spot on show, Tony, as well. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. So yes, the season's ended. The season's ended now. We finished 4th place, and that's a spot in next season's Champions League to come, which is going to be exciting. We've got an exciting summer to come. The lads are heading off for that deserved break. Bruno's getting married. Mad Dog's even going to his wedding because he's mentioned that Jason Tyndall's going as well.
Yep.
Because in Rio, because Eddie couldn't go because he's on holiday with his family. Because his wife's booked a holiday. But it's we've got a lot to look forward to. We've had a great season. It's a shame it's come to an end, but all good things have to come to an end one day. They'll start up again in a few months. And just remember, it's only a couple of weeks until the fixtures are released, so it's not that long till the fixtures come out. It's going to be exciting. Everybody's going to be thinking who we're going to get first game, who we're going to get for this, or when are we going to play the Luton Towns and things like that. But just remember, we finished 4th, and we've got this when it comes on.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll get used to that next season. So we've got to get used to that next season. So that'll be absolutely fantastic. And do you still do a collab with John? I don't, unfortunately, no. Lee says team can have a good party now. Absolutely, Lee.
No, they can't.
Mason says I want the Mackems first since I support the championship team as well. Yeah, Swansea. Yeah, hopefully you get the Mackems first. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mason. I think they come out the week after, don't they?
Something like that, innit?
Blow me looks out, man, says Andrew. Well, Andrew, get used to it. It's music to my ears, music to Pete's ears as well. Should be music to everybody's ears.
Absolutely, it is.
Right, guys, on that note, we are heading off, but remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white, and it's goodbye from me.
And me as well.
How are you, lads?